Hi, my fantastic, amazingly wonderful students. Today we are going to be doing the last page in our comprehension packet for Matilda. And so we got the last two pages. After that, you should be at the end. You've survived 21 chapters of Matilda. I'm proud of you for sticking through it with me, most of you. This chapter was called A New Home. We find out that Miss Honey's parents' house, sorry, my brain was working there for a second. Miss Honey's parents' house was actually left to her. Her dad, Dr. Honey's, will mysteriously showed up one day. We know that was most likely Miss Trunchbull turning it in since she was scared of the ghost of Magnus, Miss Honey's dad. And that will stated that the house belongs to Miss Honey along with all of his money that he left. Thankfully, it was still in the bank. So Miss Honey went from living in this small cottage with not enough money for food to having her childhood home that was fully furnished. So it had all the couches and chairs and beds and stuff like that, and having money in the bank. And the one person that was the main guest at that house was Matilda. And Matilda went there often, and one day, where we kind of pick up, she's there, and then she decides to go home. When she goes home, she finds her mom, dad, and brother quickly packing. And her dad's like, Matilda, get going, hurry up, we're leaving for the airport, we're going to Spain. And we find out that her dad was involved in more bad stuff than what we knew. He was actually buying cars that were stolen and then selling them and purposely changing the color of them and changing license plates so that they wouldn't be picked up. And that basically the police were kind of after him, or they're going to be after him soon, so they need to flee to Spain to get away instead of going to prison. And Matilda's like, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, I don't want to go. And she runs back to Miss Honey, and she's like, Miss Honey, I want to stay with you. And Miss Honey's like, well, I'm fine with that as long as your parents say it's okay. And they go back, and her parents are like, yeah, I don't care. We never really loved you anyway, and it's one less person to take care of. And they leave her there, and Matilda lives happily ever after with Miss Honey. So it's kind of my little summary. So then you have a little refresher before doing your worksheet. Okay. Now, we're going to start. Remember, pause as many times as you need to. I say that every time, and it's the last time. You're probably going to have to hear me say this, unless I decide to make you do the Matilda test, and then you'll probably hear me say it a million times. Quick write for today. Has your family ever had to move? Why? How did it make you feel? I don't know if you heard that, but someone just drove by very, very loudly, and now my dog might bark. Anyway, back to this. If not, how do you think it would feel to move? So when I was growing up, I never moved a long distance where I switched schools. I did move houses, and I went from one neighborhood to another. We left the neighborhood that had all my brother's friends, and I went to a neighborhood that had actually all my friends, and I loved this move. I was so happy and very thankful we made this move because I was 2 houses down from my best friend. Who wouldn't want that? So I enjoyed that move. Now, maybe some of you have never moved. You could say, I have not moved. How do you think you would feel then? Do you think you'd be upset if you had to move? Do you think you'd be happy if you had to move? Tell me why or why not. So if you have moved, explain to me how that felt. So you could first sentence me, yes, I've moved. It was horrible, or it was the best thing ever. And if you haven't moved, say, no, I haven't moved, but I think it would feel like this. So for this one, since it's just our quick write, just do 2 sentences for that one. Pause here, and then when you're ready, we'll move on to vocabulary. Okay. Vocabulary. Once again, our 3 words over here, and they all start with C today. I don't know. Chaos means like it's very crazy, a lot of things going on. Sometimes I feel like this is what my classroom's like, but chaos is just as crazy. There's just a lot happening. Crimson is red. Crimson is just another word for red. And consent means like you have to get approval. Like that's someone saying, yes, you can do this. So those are 3. So chaos is craziness. Crimson is red. Consent means getting approval, someone saying yes. We're going to go through, pause the video to write the words as needed, and then hit play when you're ready to move on. The house was stuffed full of people for the birthday party, and it was a scene of, so imagine there's a lot of people. Imagine what that would be like. Would it be chaos, crimson, or consent? Hope you get that one. That one's pretty easy. Okay, I'm going to refocus it. I think it's a little blurry. Maybe no difference. I don't know. Okay, number 2. The children must seek their parents' blank before making big decisions. Oh, so a lot of times you got to go ask your parents for if something's okay, and they'll say yes or no. So are they seeking their parents' chaos, crimson, or consent? And our last vocab one is, the student was embarrassed about giving the wrong answer, and she blushed a deep blank. Oh man, this happened to me all the time. I got made fun of for this. When your cheeks turn a certain color and you're embarrassed. Is that chaos, crimson, or consent? Pause and make sure you have all your stuff written. Ooh, we haven't had one of these in a while. True, false. And we've gone to the true, false section. I haven't had them since almost like chapter 4. Number 1. So you're going to answer this true or false. T for true, F for false. Number 1. Miss Trunchbull leaves town after Matilda's trick. Does Miss Trunchbull leave? Number 2. Miss Honey moves into her father's home. Does Miss Honey move into her father's home? Kind of reviewed that, so I hope you know that one. Number 3. Miss Honey is still poor. Does she still have no money, or did she get money? True or false? She's still poor? 4. Matilda's family moves to France. Ooh, I did a review of this at the beginning of this video, so I hope you were paying attention. Did they move to France? True or false? Number 5, Matilda moves in with Miss Honey. I hope you get that one, because that was like the end of our book of what happened. True or false? You can rewind to play as many times as you need to, but if you're ready to move on, flip the page with me and go on to comprehension questions. Okay. Number 1. What are 3 things that happen as a result of Matilda's chalkboard trick on Miss Trunchbull? So you're going to label these 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to give you one of them. So one of those is that Miss Trunchbull make sure I spell her name right, leaves town. Okay, so that's one of them. I'm going to give you one. I'm being nice today. It's our last one. It's getting closer to the end of the school year. Being generous, you should be appreciative of that. Sorry if you're hearing a weird noise in the background. My dog is now viciously attacking all of his toys. Okay, you need to write 2 more things. You need to write 2 more things about what are the results of Matilda's chalkboard trick. So think about Miss Honey for these. How does her life change? And really, you can go with Matilda too. I mean, there's only one way that Miss Honey would be able to take her in, and that's if she had money. So add 2 more. If you don't want to use this one, you don't have to. I was just being nice and giving you one. Pause the video here, finish, and then hit play when you're ready to move on. Number 2. How does Matilda end up living with Miss Honey? Why was she able to do that? What led to that? Especially with her parents. What was the big thing going on there? I need 2 sentences for this one. I can't write nicely today. 2 sentences. Complete sentences. Capitals at the beginning, punctuation at the end, complete thought. So, how does she end up living with Miss Honey? And number 3, your last question for this entire packet is, do you like the ending of the story? Why or why not? You need 2 sentences for this one, at least. You can write more if you really want to. Did you like the ending? Did you like that Matilda ends up living with Miss Honey, or do you wish something else had happened? Okay, so you can say, yes, I like the ending. I thought it was great that Matilda ended up with Miss Honey, or you go, no, I hated the ending. It would have been much better if, and you can tell me there. That is all you need to do for this today. Do these last 2 pages in this packet. Whoop, whoop. You're almost done, Matilda. And then you're good. Make sure you're doing the daily question for me, and I will be thinking about if we're doing the Matilda test or not. Depends on how hard you've all been working and time. We probably are going to do the test, so okie dokie. Keep up the great work. Bye.